So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So we got the news drop ahead of the final part of the 9th anniversary. It is going to be Zoro and King, of course. So let's check out all of the news. We'll start from the bottom. And yeah, I kind of overlooked this with everything going on, but we're due for another Grand Voyage in June. And it looks like we get something that a lot of us were hoping for, which is Arlong crew against the Straw Hats. Well, it looks like it will be Luffy boss. But yeah, that's pretty interesting since obviously Arlong is a very weird captain. He needs you to have one of every crew on a team and you take damage all of the time. So if they make him so he has to be captain, then that's going to mean you can't do just strength units. But maybe they build it for him to be sub. We'll have to see. One news is that we can actually get an alternating pen from this. So that's something, I guess. But yeah. Exciting. This should be the last Arlong Park. And then we move on to probably versus Smoker or something before we get to the Grand Line. Grand Party login bonus, pretty random, but sure. Grand Party is back. I don't even want to think about it until it starts, so we'll move on. We're getting the new Big Mom 6 Plus. I've not talked about her, so let's take a quick look at her. Maxed out. Big Mom is -2 CD for herself, -1 for crew. Increases the damage taken by 1.75 times, but boosts crew's HP by 2 times. So this is the same as her pre-evo basically. Boosts crew's attack by 5 times. This is a big buff, but because before she was like Arlong, which we talked about, you need one of every color on the crew. So now you don't have to care you're a rainbow captain, so that's pretty cool. Heals crew by number of enemies defeated by normal attacks multiplied by the crew's total recovery at the end of enemy's turn. So you just get a lot of healing when you kill stuff. That's the gist of it. If every type is on the crew and crew is inflicted with paralysis, so there you have the everybody on the crew. So they didn't remove it, they applied it to a bonus effect basically. You halt paralysis duration and reduce character special charge time by number of turns halved. So this is pretty similar to Super Sugo Fest Nami when she is a sub. Captain Nami removes all paralysis, but sub Nami just removes half and then gets some siege reduction. So yeah, it's better than nothing. It's a pretty cool special cap. And my favorite part about 6 Plus Big Mom is that she is now slasher in every form. So this will actually make Big Mom a very good option for Grand Voyages since we have a lot of in-slasher Grand Voyage. I can't wait to try this Big Mom out against those Grand Voyages since Share Kit should be pretty good for them for sure. Her special, and this can also charge over max just like Super Sugo Fest Nami. But the main gist of it is that you get a base attack boost for 3 turns, up to plus 2000 base attack if you have 200k HP. But even if you have 100k HP or less, you get plus 1000 base attack. For 3 turns you become the duo form, and for 2 turns you get a chain lock. And you can go up to a 4.5 times chain lock if you charge enough over your max special CD. And you definitely want to charge it 30 or more over the max, because then you also get it to become 3 turns. So basically you want to reach like 40 CD or such, which might be hard, but if you do that you are rewarded greatly. So yeah, Big Mom is only really good if you're able to get that 3 turn 4.5 times chain lock. She's not as impressive when it's just a 2 turn chain lock. Those are not worthless, but not as great. But still, pretty interesting to make her be like an alternate version of Super Sugo Fest Nami. It's an interesting idea, and I think the kit is pretty decent. She doesn't have a sailor that helps her with reducing CD, which is a shame, but swap. Normal swap, same as before, removes her own paralysis, gets a matching orb, 1.5 times attack and orb boost. Then for the super swap, we get that she removes her own paralysis still. She also reduces cruise paralysis by 5 turns. She gets a Wano orb and 2 times attack and orb boost for the team. So amazing super swap, I must say. And yeah, I look forward to using her. I have not checked what she does in Rumble, to be honest. Doesn't look super impressive. Yeah, don't think this will see any use. So let's keep moving on. We have the Kizuna Clash against Alber, it is. We basically knew pretty early that there wouldn't be a new free-to-play for Kizuna, mainly because the Blitz Kaido had a 5+ added from the beginning, but they didn't add it to the game. They said we'll get it for Kizuna, so we figured this would be versus Kaido, but they did versus Alber instead. But we were able to get both Big Mom evolution materials as well as Kaido. So you're going to be able to 5+ both of them. Guess we can take a look at Kaido as well. And yeah, it's very interesting because Kaido, he gives himself -3 CD. Int and Driven get a 4.75 times attack boost, 1.5 times HP. Like, it's crazy how good free-to-play units are getting. I think it's very fun to see. Boost their attacks by 5 times when they have 1 slots. And then you do some end of turn damage to 1 enemy. Very cool, Captain. The special, very similar, just a bit higher numbers. You do some damage, you change Kaido slots including block to Wano, and get that 2.5 times attack and orb boost. And the super type, you get a -2 CD, increases all enemies damage taken by 2 times for 1 turn, and int become super int. And it's actually interesting because he's basically the same as versus Kaido in many ways. So if the enemy doesn't have immunity to increased damage taken, for example, you can literally put this Kaido as captain and use his super type and special, and you get a bit weaker version of versus Kaido. So you can still use like the versus Kaido team without versus Kaido, which is just pretty crazy, I'd say. You even get a bit higher increased damage taken, but at the expense of not going through full immunity. But on the other hand, weaker captain ability, weaker attack and orb boost, but still very cool that it's even possible to do something like that. Not checked his PvP either, we can take a quick look. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. Yeah, not what I expect anyway. As for this, anything else noteworthy? It looks like it will be a pretty normal Kizuna. It's confirmed that we're getting 3 bosses. It's a strength boss, quick boss, and side boss. The quick boss is apparently colorless, at least the super boss, where it doesn't matter what you bring, you can't do any color affinity damage, so everything is boosted as well, so just try and do as much damage as possible. One weird thing this Kizuna, but it makes sense when you think about it, is that the main boosters, Sora and King, like, they give the most points, but they don't give you rainbow damage to the enemies. And this is obviously because Zoro, his Enma, his gimmick is that he's going to get rainbow damage with Enma. So they basically had to remove the standard functionality of Kizuna that you get rainbow damage with the boosters, just so you are forced to use Enma. So it's super backwards, it's super silly. So this mainly screws over Alber, who has no such mechanic at all. But if you go down, Frankie gets color affinity against everything, Brook gets color affinity against everything, so yeah, it's just silly. But yeah, it's the usual expected booster list, like recent units get a lot of stats, and Kizuna related stuff and Bash related stuff get also a lot of stats, so yeah, nothing really interesting apart from that. Then we're getting the Tama Support, which is a bit weird. It's the usual same steps as always, so we're not going to go through them, but we can take a look at Tama. And as always, these units don't have good captain and specials. They are mainly for the support. And this Tama is weird since she only boosts Zoro, Momo, and Big Mom, and that's supporting Zoro. Like, it's clearly meant to be put on the new Zoro, but like, if you're going to make a support for Zoro, why do you pick Tama? Like, they have basically no interaction at all. It's super random. Anyway, at level 5, if you use a damage dealing or percent damage dealing specials, just do damage basically. You further boost the effect of damage boost dealt to enemies with specific stealth effect by plus 0.15. This basically means that you buff conditional buffs by plus 0.15. Reduce crew's attack down paralysis by 1 turn and damage threshold by 1 turn. What's really silly about this is that I'm pretty sure that these kinds of buffs, like say you buff Zoro's increased damage taken conditional, but then when you activate Zoro's Super Tandem, that buff shouldn't be buffed anymore. That's not really a thing, I think. We have to test it at least. It's a bit of an uncharted territory, I guess you can say. So, not really impressed with this Tama, but I don't really skip support Sugos because they are a nightmare to get outside of their debut, so I'm getting her for sure. Hopefully with as few multis as possible. Finally, we have the Sugo Fest, and yeah, it's the same as usual, so we don't need to talk too much about it. We can check out the different parts. It's the same as like Luffy Sanji parts. But on part 1, we can obviously get both Zoro and King. The other rate boosted Nofor units are the Kizuna Legend Prospero and Kizuna Legend Bua. We also have Prime Whitebeard, Usopp Yasop is boosted. Other than that, the only one I think about is like Frankie. I still like a few dupes. Other than that, I don't want anything boosted on part 1. So, like, the other Kizuna Legends are available, but they will have low rates, same as the Sugo Legends. So if you want, say, Sugo Fest Robin in particular, then part 1 is not the part to pull, so to say. Part 2, and this really pisses me off. Odin is boosted again. Like, I understand they want to do this filler stuff. We don't have enough Super Sugos to do our BS strategy for 9th anniversary. But like, just put 5 Super Sugos on every part. Sure, you can put Roger and Odin on every part, but we can have some other good fillers. We don't have to put just Yamato on only one part. Yamato can be on part 2 here, part 3 on Sanji maybe. Like, just make so you can get more Super Sugos, not just get, oh, we have 3 pretty good Super Sugos, and then making a return appearance, we have Odin for the 50th time, 3rd time this anniversary. Like, it's just so dumb, and it annoys me. Personally speaking, like, I got max Yamato, so that's unfortunate. I need one more Luffy dupe for Rainbow. And Zoro, I'm just aiming for 1 copy. I might start with part 1, do a few multis there, and we'll see. I haven't decided. I'll think about it today. We have the Toki Legend, Sabo Ace, and Sanji Pudding as the Kizuna Legends on this part. And normal legends, well, we have Ray Ligaban, that's pretty nice, but other than that, nothing that stands out to me at least. And that's for part 3. This is the part with Robin. We also have Super Tandem Kaido and Super Sugo Fest Kid and Roger, so this part is like pretty great. Like, all of these are pretty valuable, even if, let's be real, Kaido hasn't had much reason to be used for a long time, but he's great on paper, just doesn't see use. It is what it is. Page X-Drake, Kaido Crew, and Capone Crew, all great legends to own. One very noteworthy thing here is that we don't just have the V2 King here, we also have V2 Yak. And since this Kizuna is like made for the side batch, then you'd think that you want Yak a lot, which makes this better, but honestly I did a bit of team building for the size super boss and I ended up not even using Yak for that team, so don't feel any pressure to get the Yak. Like if it was a normal size super boss, Yak would have been amazing, but they have some dumb mechanics, which means you have to puzzle around with weird solutions. Here's the rate boosted characters. Why is that Mihawk rate boosted? Like, I don't think I've ever seen this Mihawk rate boosted. That's random AF. Like, this Mihawk is not a very good unit, but it's just weird to see. Other than that, nothing very unexpected, I'd say. And we also have all the Kizuna recruit available, will probably be pretty low rates. But yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.